Are we recording already? Shit, bro. We're live.
Yeah, we are.
In 3, 2, 1, now. But
Yeah, we're live now. What did you want to start with again?
what do you want to start with? But do you remember it was about last year where we told each other that once things open up, we would be more wholesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like every weekend, we're going out.
I mean, yeah, because like half the time I have a gig anyways, so of course we're gonna go out. Like, why wouldn't we go out?
Dude, for people who don't know, this guy played at freaking Marquee last weekend. That's crazy, dude. Like
that was actually insane.
that was so much fun. How was that experience, Joe?
Dude, honestly, like when I'm on stage, I don't remember half the shit that I'm doing.
Is it because you're lit, or you just don't remember?
I don't remember because like I'm just kind of like on autopilot, so
Yeah.
I'm just kind of doing whatever.
Yeah.
And it kind of just works out the way it needs to work out whenever I'm playing. But no, I have a fucking lit time when I'm up there. But then after I kind of forget everything, I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? No, yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I'm just glad everyone came out, dude. I think we had like 50, 60 people that
You
were
guys
there.
had 2 tables and then a bunch of people who showed up. How was that experience compared to like your first time at like say Mission or like Slate?
It's a different crowd each time you go. So I think the best part about playing at like a club like Marquee is that it's like a brand name. So you can play all the brand name stuff. So like of course I'm gonna play like the old 80s music like Queen, right?
Yeah.
But at a place like Mission or Slate, like I don't know what's in front of me yet.
Right.
So I have to like kind of gauge the crowd. But like at Marquee, I just went like balls to the wall, like literally balls to the wall, you know. So it was crazy.
Did you think it was a better experience than the other, like say like Mission or Slate, because you've been through like played live more and more now, or is it just again like you said, every time is a different experience, every time is a different?
Yeah, I think every time's a different experience because you never really know what's gonna be in front of you.
True, the crowd, right?
But like the first time I played at Mission, it was a very different experience than the second time I played because it was like a different time slot, right? So time slots also matter a lot because I was closing at Marquee, so everyone was tired. But then at Mission, it was like I was like leading into the prime time, so I could kind of play like stuff.
Yeah.
But I had to be like tactical about it. But the crowd at Mission was definitely like way more down.
Really, you think
They were like singing way louder than the people at Marquee.
I think at least our group, we were having a great time though.
You guys were having a good time, but
Yeah.
the people that were around you guys were like not
don't think
as
so?
much. I think they're really tired,
Yeah.
or they just didn't know what to understand what I was doing.
Honestly, at that point, I was just like vibing with our friends, and then that's all that matters. I didn't care what other people thought.
Okay, favorite song of the night. What was it?
Favorite song?
Yeah.
Dude, you pulled that MGK song, dude.
That
was a banger, dude.
I saw you guys like top the
Yeah,
fuck
I saw
up.
that, and we were like, oh shit, it's pulling MGK.
Well, yeah, that was in my edit pack.
I was what?
That was in my edit pack.
Edit pack? I was gonna say, like, you've been the past 2 months since we caught up, because I've been away, right?
Yeah.
You've been doing a lot of good stuff, like the edit pack in January, and then now these past 2-3 weeks with Slate,
Slate Marquee.
Marquee,
Yeah.
and some stuff coming out this month.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm turning 27 in like a week.
Dude, how does that feel?
It's fucking weird.
Feels weird?
When did we talk about that? We talked about coming of age like last time we were.
When it was a one-on-one?
When it was the one-on-one, and then we were talking about how like, yeah, don't you think that like our lives are gonna change in the next like 3-4 years? And I'm like, yeah, probably, but I don't know which way they're gonna change. Like we just said, like, hey, I don't think we're gonna go out anymore.
And we've been going out.
And we've been going out every fucking weekend, dude.
I remember the moment I flew in, it was Sam's birthday, and I was like, shit, here we go again, dude. It's like nothing changed, nothing like, it's like right back at it again, you know?
Yeah, and then it's been a constant like one step forward, and then we're like, okay, guys, we need to take a break.
Yeah.
Like I took a week off. I went to the Poconos like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, and like I went snowboarding or
You
skiing.
also went to Florida for a little bit, too.
I went to Florida too. I didn't even party. I just like
Yeah.
chilled.
Yeah. I think it's important as we get to our age, 26, 27, sometimes you just need to take a step back, reflect, and also just to chill. Because I feel like since we do go out so often, our body's gonna like sometimes just not be able to handle it.
Yeah,
I
dude,
think
like-
personally,
Hangovers actually hurt now.
dude, it takes like 3 days to recover from me.
3 days. What's
3
wrong with
days.
you, man?
What's wrong with me, dude? I don't know, man.
I mean, we're not in college where we could like go out till like 4 a.m, and then go to class at 8. I used to be able to do that, but now I can't even. I can barely get up on time.
Dude, I
For
don't know
work.
how you made it to Boston. When you said you gotta go at 9 or 8 or 9, I was like, dude, what are you talking about? I was still in bed, dude.
Oh no, my friend woke me up, so
I was savage.
it was
Oh,
savage, but it was
savage,
fun.
dude.
It was fun. I had a lot of fun. But yeah, dude. So given like how much we've like gotten older, like we've seen each other grow up, right? Since like
Yeah,
we're
since
young
college.
adults, college, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so weird to see that we're still hanging out with all the same people, and we're all still kind of doing the same thing, right?
I think, yeah, like you said, it's kind of crazy how we've been able to, like, the past 5-6 years still stuck together. But I think there's also a reason why we've been so close and be able to stay in touch so often, just because I think we have that same mentality on things.
Yeah.
Because I think what I learned, especially while I was away in Taiwan and kind of just took a step back in December, was like, you can't spend time with everybody, right? I think you get to a point where you have to really put that time into certain things, where like for you, put into, DJing, your goals, like whether it's finding a side business or like the podcast, stuff like that, right? I think for us, it's just be able to really know who to spend that time with. And I think at least for us, and at least with a lot of people within our friend group, right? I think we have that same mentality, same drive, same, not necessarily the same goals, but the what is it called? The
Are you ready to party attitude?
Are you ready to party attitude? Definitely need that. But I think the most important thing is just like, we know there's a place that we want to be, and then the people that are around us are the people that we want to eventually be there with.
I think so too.
Right.
It's gonna be weird when we all hit like 30 and we're like, oh, who's gonna get married first, Which actually brings me to my next point was like, we were talking about, like, I think a couple days ago, like dating in Asia versus dating in the US, right?
Yes.
And since we both grew up like in different parts of the world, like I grew up in Asia,
Yeah.
you grew up here,
Yeah.
but then you said you were also on what, Tinder or Hinge in Taiwan.
Yeah, I think it was very interesting experience over there. Because first of all, Hinge you can't download unless you're outside of like Taiwan. So you gotta be like in America, for example, download it, and then you can still use it in Taiwan.
Oh, really?
So a lot of it is actually people from international, and here and there are some locals. People who told me that Tinder is usually the ones that in Taiwan is still like.
Tinder is
popular.
big in
Yeah, and then obviously there's like some of those Taiwanese ones, right? Like
Yeah.
every country, every city has its own kind of like popular dating app and stuff like that, right? But I think to go off what you said is kind of, it's different, dating. I don't know. You can tell me. I don't know if you've kind of dated a lot in Asia before, but for example, I was talking to this girl in Taiwan, right? And then I was like, dude, maybe I should just ask her to just hang out, right? But then I end up like hanging out with some of my local friends who were originally from Taiwan, right? It's been a day or two of, just chatting, getting to know each other. Would it be cool to just like, yo, let's meet up at like a night market or like a bar, right? And then they're like, nah, don't do that, because it's gonna scare them off. Because apparently like, if you're too upfront, like I feel like, in New York at least, I think it's better to be upfront, right? Like talk for like 3-4 hours, and if the vibes are good, all right, let's just set up a date, right? But then over there, it's different, because like if you do that, they're just like, oh, because I don't know you that well, and like you might be like, I don't know, you don't know, right? You might be a little crazy or a little weird, or just kind of, they just don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Right? Too early, and then that just kind of already scares them off.
So do you know, what is your like hypothesis on why people are more apprehensive to actually like speak or go out initially?
In New York?
No, in Taiwan, because you're talking about how people in Taiwan, even if you ask them out like after 1-2 days of dating, your local friends said, I don't think that's a good bet.
Yeah.
And it's not good. So then what? You're gonna talk for like a month and then ask them out?
I guess.
Dude, texting sucks.
Dude, I hate texting. I rather
Exactly.
just meet in person, get a quick vibe check. It doesn't work out. I'm sorry, it doesn't work out. We can move on with our lives,
But then so did they tell you why it wasn't good to initially ask them
I
out?
think it's just how the traditions are, I would say. I mean, I can't really speak to it because I didn't grow up in Taiwan. I've only honestly like started visiting when I was in 2008. And, every other year I would go visit my family, visit friends and stuff like that. So I don't have the best, I would say, good idea about it. But I think from when I spoke to her, it's just kind of, again, just how things are. Like, again, I watched like some Taiwanese movies too about romance and stuff like that. And it seems like the trend, like they stay friends a long time, and sometimes they don't confess to each other until like towards the end.
That's like every K-drama. That's like every
That we're
K-drama.
in love.
That's every K-drama.
I love you, but I can't tell you right now,
And then they're like internally struggling because they don't know what to say and when to say it.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of that. Yeah.
I mean, like based on that, what I just said, have you dated when you were in the Philippines?
I wasn't of age.
Yeah.
So I've definitely like met people there, but it's not like we dated.
Yeah.
But like from what my friends have told me who like live back home and stuff, it's a lot more of like, you take things really slow.
Yeah.
But when you actually want to pursue someone back home, you actually tell them though. You're like, oh, I actually like think of you as more
I
than a
think
friend.
I read something about like,
Yeah.
I forgot which Asian country. The same thing. Like you go on like group hangouts and stuff like that, and if you know you're interested, you just like, hey, like I'm interested in you.
Yeah.
Let's go out.
That's what it's like where I'm from. Because they call it like in the old days, they called it like courting someone.
Courting. Oh,
Yeah, that's what my parents call it. It's
Yeah.
like when you know that you want to pursue someone, it's like, oh, I want to court you.
Yeah.
Like you actually say that, and it's
Gio, would you do that now in New York?
absolutely
Yo,
fucking
what's
not.
up? I'm gonna court you.
I'm gonna court. It's a very traditional way of saying I'm interested in you, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's a very like straightforward way of saying it in like a non creepy way. It's like I'd like to court you.
Do you think people would appreciate that now, though? It may sound a little bit creepy, but isn't that also kind of nice? Like, I'm upfront about it. I'm gonna court you.
I mean, they wouldn't get it. You could just say like, "Oh, I actually think like I'd like to pursue you," right? That's like the same thing.
Yeah,
It's a
I
little
guess just a different phrasing, right?
different phrasing, but not as like fucking traditional or stupid. But like,
Hey,
yeah.
it's not stupid, man.
I mean, I've definitely you've definitely gone up to someone and be like, yeah, I think I like you, like as
Yeah.
more than a friend, right?
yeah,
And then how did that go? Like, did that work? Like,
hit or miss. Sometimes you just shoot your shot, right?
yeah, how did the misses go? I want to hear about that.
How'd the misses go?
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes they're just like, you tell them like, hey, we've been talking for 1 or 2 months and we hung out a couple times. I see you more than a friend. What do you think, right? And obviously, depending on the girl, sometimes they're just gonna be like, hey, I see you as a friend. And at that point, it's just like, hey, do you want to continue that friendship? Or again, sometimes it differs from people, right? You're okay with that, like, hey, even though you have those feelings, you can still be friends. Or two, sometimes you just completely shut off, right? Because sometimes you may feel or say certain things, you might feel bitter in a way. Then that's why sometimes people just completely cut it off because they know they may end up like that, right? And they don't want to be like that because they know they had a certain good relationship, and you just gotta move on, right?
I think that that's a good way to portray your feelings
Yep.
because at the same time, you're never gonna really know until you know, until you try, right? You're gonna have to try. If you don't try, nothing's gonna happen, right? So I think if you don't do that, you'll never know. But then, for example, like, what if it's too early to say it? What if it's too late to
Right.
say it?
But at the same time, you don't know if it's too early or too not, right?
Yeah, you don't until you know. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you have to time it in a way,
Right.
Which is why everyone like goes through their phones and psychoanalyzes everything. They're like, oh, what does this emoji mean? And I'm like, that's so stupid.
Yeah, I think we still, as we get to 26, do you still sometimes overthink things? When you don't have to, right?
I don't care.
You don't care anymore?
I stopped caring.
I don't know, I still feel like,
I stopped
I feel like
caring.
sometimes people still over psychoanalyze a certain message or a certain emoji. Do you think that's immature of them, or do you think it's just them not getting to that point, or two, it's just them, again, it's their process, their own process of like.
I think
about
so.
their own
Because like
process?
I'm pretty much like if I know I like someone, I'll just tell them. If I know that the vibes are good, I'll just tell them like, yeah, like I think you're really cool. Like, and I think of you as more than a friend.
No, I think I respect that. I
Yeah.
think I lately I've been more like that as well. I think in high school, even in college, I think I was more of a passive person. I would like obviously like if we talk a lot, hanging out, that kind of means there's some kind of connection or relationship there, right?
Yes.
And I think when I was little or younger, I was always afraid of rejection.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like you said a couple minutes ago, I think as we get older, rejection is it's you gotta shoot your shot sometimes, right? If it doesn't
Yeah.
work out, then it's just you move on.
Especially when we're like out and about, right? Like when we're at like a club or we're at a bar.
Yeah.
Dude, we don't give a shit. We're just like, we just go up and talk to people. It's like, because in the old days, when we didn't have dating apps, we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have any of this shit like Snapchat. You have to go up and say hi to someone.
No, you have to go to like someone in class, someone at a bar, someone at a restaurant,
Yeah.
and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Exactly.
Right.
And that was like, to be a man, you had to go through that rite of
So,
passage.
Gio, do you think because of technology and because of dating apps, that kind of made people step back a little bit and are afraid to do that now? In
Dude, I think everyone's so scared.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you talk to any of our dude friends, they're terrified to talk to someone in public. Come on, do you think I'm wrong?
No.
Talk to any of our dude friends. That's not you and me.
Yeah.
Right? They'll be like, oh, I don't know what to say. I'm like, I kind of feel like.
It might be a little awkward.
Yeah.
I think you should approach it in a way where you're respectful, first of all, and two, just don't be off-putting. I think.
Yeah. Do you have any like tips and tricks?
Do I have any tips and tricks?
Yeah. Do you have like any like weird ways of like do you like going up to someone to like start a conversation? Okay, scenario, right? Scenario.
Scenario.
You're at a bar,
Yeah.
right? Like at the bar at a club, and then you see someone you want to talk to right next to you. How would you want to open
Right
up?
next to me, or like we're kind of across, or just like whatever.
Right next to you, like right, here.
next to you?
Right, like here.
I think if like let's say like you're next to me and like the girl's next to me, right? I think we're chatting. I look over a couple times, right? I always gotta kind of make eye contact and gauge it, right? And then if they keep looking back a little bit, or like do a hair motion, or just
Yeah, but what if she doesn't look at you?
what if she doesn't look at me? Then sometimes you just gotta tap them a little bit, not like too aggressively because like that's kind of weird too, right?
Yeah.
Or you just kind of get their attention, right? Because like again, you don't want to just randomly touch people, right? So you
Yeah.
just gotta be in front of them, wave a little bit, and just introduce yourself and be like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I saw you, my name is blah blah blah, and just kind of go from there.
Have you done that yet?
Have I done it? Yeah.
Did it work?
50%. Just kidding. Maybe even less, honestly.
Oh my God.
Maybe even less, dude. No, because like sometimes people are just there with their friends. They're just trying to have a good time with friends, or two, they have boyfriends, or three, they're just not feeling it. And you can't take it too personally.
Also
you know?
true. Also true.
Right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes they're down. They're just like, hey, like maybe they just want to get to know people. Get to know them.
So then,
I mean, what would you do? And if let's say like we were chilling here in the bar, you look over at Mission, and some girl catches your eyes.
Oh no, I've
Would you
used.
ditch me, dude?
I've used. I wouldn't ditch you. First of all, I wouldn't ditch you.
Kidding, bro.
But yeah, so one thing I used to do,
Yeah.
like when we're at bars and stuff, is like I'd used to go up to like the bar and I'd like order a drink, right? But then I'd look at the person next to me and see if they're ordering, and then I'd be like, oh, like what's your poison, or like what's your choice of drink? And then they go
That's
like,
smooth.
oh, like tequila, and I'm like, oh, so you must have gone like spring break in Cabo or something and like smoked like a pack of cigarettes in line, like, and then you just like throw an assumption at them and then see how they react.
No, but I've heard sometimes you make assumptions. It's actually pretty bad too.
I don't give a fuck, dude.
No, but sometimes that's off-putting though too.
I mean,
I've spoken to girls about that too. They're like something you stereotype like, oh, you're a nurse. Like something they'll just like straight up say like, oh, are you a nurse or some shit, or like you live in East Village or you do this. That's kind of off-putting too sometimes. If you
Can
make
be.
some assumptions straight up.
yeah, but that's the type of person I am though. Like
Yeah.
you know me, right?
Yeah.
So you know that like when I say these things, it
But I know
doesn't.
you, but they don't know you.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't. They're gonna get to know me if they like me enough, right?
If it resonates with them, they'll be like, oh shit, this guy's pretty funny, or shit, this guy's kind of.
This guy's kind of
And then just turns around.
And then they watch me go on stage and play a set. They're like, oh, that guy was the DJ.
Are you speaking from experience, Joe? Has this happened?
Has not happened yet.
Okay.
But like that would be really funny if I
Bro,
like
that'd be
tried
pretty
to
funny.
I tried to hit on someone
pretty
and they're
funny.
like, yeah, fuck this guy. And then they see me on stage like, oh,
Oh, that's a DJ over there, dude.
that would be really funny. But a lot of times it just like we just like kind of banter for a bit and
Yeah.
like it's whatever. But sometimes a lot of the times like they're just kind of like, what?
I think you need an equal dose of banter and just like being interesting and cracking jokes a little bit,
Yeah.
and not just coming off too strong. You know, sometimes too strong, I feel like pushes them away. Unless I don't know, certain people just can't. I guess
Yeah, there's some people that just
some people just can't. It's just,
can't, yeah.
it just works.
when I'm meeting people at clubs, it's a lot harder to like interact because it's so fucking loud.
Exactly.
So I just literally have to scream at someone the whole time, and it's just like it's hard to be funny when
I feel
you're
like at a
screaming
club,
at
it's
someone.
hard to get to know someone too.
Exactly.
It's like you're screaming the shit out of your mind.
Yeah.
DJ's playing loud music. You have friends over there. It's kind of hard to get to know people. Though.
Exactly. I think it depends on how you're able to speak to them. Like a really big part of it is like just getting in close with someone. Like even when we talk at Mission, I'm literally like in your fucking ear, grabbing your head.
What's up, dude?
I'm like
shit, man.
grabbing your head, like just trying to hear you. You know.
It's true.
So those are the big things, you know, and like I think it also speaks to like because we are like Asian American, right?
Right.
So a lot of like our experiences are very different than if we went to like LAS or like Marquee or Nebula on like an offline. Nebula was fucking insane, by the way.
That was pretty fun.
But yeah, so going back to what I was saying, we're Asian American, right? So we have a different experience dating. Like nightlife is also very different for us. Like when like my white friends hang out with us, they're like, "Dude, you guys are like, this is different. This is so different. Like the way we interact and
Yeah, what would they like? How so? Like, what would be like some things that they would kind of point out and be like, that's kind of weird, but it's also like, shit, that's cool.
it's like we're a lot more like when it comes to joining the group, we're a lot more welcoming because we're very much like whatever. We're like one
Yeah.
big happy family.
Yeah.
Minus the drama because there's always drama.
There's always dramas in
yeah.
anything, you know.
But yeah, they're like you guys are like really welcoming and like super friendly. Because when I first moved to New York, it was really hard for me to like find a group of friends. And like I hung out with like some of my friends that weren't Asian, right? And so it was really hard to like connect with someone and like break the ice. But then when my non-Asian friends come and hang out with us, they're like, yeah, this is really cool. You guys are like really friendly and nice. And it's
like-
easy to talk to you.
Yeah, it's like even though sometimes we're not too close with each other. Like the moment we're like just kicking it and like a couple shots in, dude, we're just like we're best friends, dude.
Yeah, there were like 50 people
all
in
great
here.
friends, dude.
There were 50 people in here on Friday, dude. Like I was like, what the fuck is
That was dope.
happening?
You just go around, say hi to random people, meet people, and it was chill.
Yeah, dude. And so that's what I've noticed is that there's a very different experience when you're Asian American, and like all our friends are Asian American, right? And so the community aspect of it is very different, right? And then you like hear about all like the hate crimes that are happening, like the
Right.
subway, right? Like
Right.
they say the cops obviously don't say that it's a hate crime because it's just a person that got pushed off the rails, right? But like those things happen, and,
And
like
we know as an Asian American,
know.
it just it
definitely is a
Yeah.
fucking hate crime.
Yeah.
In my eyes, right?
I think-
That it is.
I guess it goes different ways. Sometimes, again, it's about perspective, right? But I think from us, because we've seen it so often and hear about it so often, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, like it's not an Asian hate crime, right?
Do you stand in the middle of the subway stop now?
No, dude. Dude, I remember I came back from Taiwan. Like even today, I was just like, I would either stand like near the staircase or like sometimes in the middle, right? There's like the TV screen now. I would purposely like lean against it and then kind of, if I had my phone, I'd be like this, and I'm at an angle. So if someone does push, I can like be able to like be sturdy, right?
Yes.
So if you're at an angle, they won't. It's hard to push you, right? Instead of like if you're completely like sitting like parallel with it, you're like someone pushes you, your momentum is gonna push you that way, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like at an angle or like directly perpendicular to it, and you're just like more aware of like your surroundings.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm the same. I sit on the benches.
You sit on benches.
I sit on the benches. So it's weird because like a lot of the attacks have happened towards women.
Yeah.
And we're obviously not women, but we know that like it can always happen.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like super on guard when we're around like our like female friends. I'm just like, fuck.
You just gotta be like, hey, like, be like, be over here. Like, even if we're walking on the sidewalk, right? These days, I'm like, hey, like, stand like closer to the inside instead of being on the outside because you can just get pushed away, right?
Yeah.
But would you say like, even though you grew up kind of mainly in Philippines, right? Mm-hmm. You spend a lot of your time in the States, right? How has your can you kind of describe like your Asian American experience in a way?
Yeah. So when I first moved here, I didn't understand what an Asian American was to begin with, but I did have a lot of friends that were Asian, but they weren't like my type of Asian, which it was like a fresh off the boat Asian. Because when I first came to the US, I thought that I could fit in and like mesh well with all the American kids because I sounded like you guys, I looked like you guys, I dressed like you guys, but it didn't mean
You also
that,
grew up. I mean, you
well
were
for
born in New
7
York.
yeah, for like when I was really really young, but that doesn't mean that I grew up here because in my opinion, when you grow up, it's not when you actually are born here and then live here. It's like when you hit puberty and you like develop your personality. I think that's when you actually grow up. Because like a lot of my high school friends and I, we're still tight as fuck now.
Yeah.
Because we all saw each other grow up and glow up. Grow up and glow up, right? So like I think you've met them, like the ones that I went to high school with, right?
Yeah.
Those guys, like we kick it like every like
Nothing-
3-4 months.
Yeah, nothing
It's
like happens. Yeah.
Nothing skips a beat.
No.
And it's because we saw each other progress in our lives. And we've seen where we've gone from like fucking like 14 to 27 now.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see like that experience because we were like considered American. We thought we were pretty westernized American. But then when we came here, we didn't understand a lot of like the cultural norms here. Like for example, like I didn't know what a swagopino was. I didn't know what American football was. Like I didn't understand what the Super Bowl was. Like I didn't know what March Madness was. Like all that stuff made me feel like not an American. But then when I became more Asian American, is when we all graduated, right? And I started living here by myself.
Right.
And I noticed that like the common ground is like just finding like your connection with people. Like for example, for us, we both love the same music.
Yeah.
We're both in the same fraternity, and then we're like
Same circle.
and we're same circle,
Same
same
goals.
same friend circle, same
Podcasts.
goals. We run a thing together. Like there are a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
So it's like finding that common ground. Like that's why I'm really tight with like the Capricorn boys because we're all united through music.
Yeah.
Even though we're all from 4 completely different walks of life.
That's crazy, dude.
You think about the 4 of us, we're all 4 different people. Completely different people.
Different upbringings, different everything. Like,
So yeah, no, my Asian American experience was definitely like not the same as anyone else's because I can now say I'm Asian American because I found the common ground with the people that are Asian American around me.
I think it's amazing how like Asia has what over 30, 40 countries, probably like even the small
something like
ones.
that. I don't know.
Really? No.
Something like that. It has to be way more than that.
Yeah, right. Something like that. It's amazing how like we're able to all come together and be able to just find a common ground and to be able to mesh well and to be able to just like you said be able to grow over the past 10, 13, 14 years and get to a certain point where it just doesn't really matter where you came from.
Yeah. That's also a thing is like we're all Asian, but the thing is we're all different subsets of Asian.
Yeah.
Like when you say you're American,
Yeah.
it means you live in America.
Yeah.
But then when you say you're Asian, it means you live in the whole continent of Asia.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like
Asia,
we're the
yeah.
same. We're not the same thing. We're not like you are Taiwanese.
Yeah.
I am Filipino.
Yeah.
That doesn't make us the same type of Asian.
No.
But there's common ground, but our cultures are like our cultural norms are very, very different.
Yeah.
Like even religion, like what's the normal religion in Taiwan?
It's like what Christianity and Buddhism and Taoism.
Yeah, but what's the biggest majority?
I think it's still like Christianity.
Okay. Same thing. For us, it's Catholicism.
Catholicism.
Like that's like a subset of Christianity,
Yeah.
which is like super deep seated in my culture. Like I had to go to church every Sunday. I went to Sunday school. My dad was my Sunday school teacher. All that stuff, which is like not as normal here. Because
I think people still go every like Sunday though.
but like
Church?
I'm talking about like the kids are like they get like religion ingrained in their like daily lives type of thing.
So I have a thing about that. I think as kids we were kind of, I don't want to say forced, but it was because our parents, right? We went to it a lot, and then now that we're kind of working and stuff, we don't really go to that. But I feel like once we get to a certain age where it's like whether we have a family, I think it becomes a little bit more important. That's just my theory, because like I think because we're just so busy. We're like right now we're just trying to figure our shit out right now, right? Whether it's our job, whether it's our hobbies, whether it's who we hang out with. I think right now because we're on that grind so much, we don't have that necessary time to think about it. But I think once we kind of settle down, don't you kind of think that will eventually become a little bit more important?
I think so. Because I didn't really like practice as much as I did until I started living alone. Like I didn't pray a lot when I was like younger.
Yeah.
And then now that I'm older, like I realized that like it's not, the concept is not about like actually believing in God. It's really about like believing in something higher than yourself.
Higher being.
And like kind of putting your faith in like the world ahead of you, right?
Yeah, I think like just certain things happen for a reason and you can't really explain it. And you have to kind of be like, okay, like maybe something or someone or whatever is up there is kind of dictating the path of where we will eventually be. I think like right now I'm not super religious, but I just feel like it's still there. Like every night I pray, go to bed, every morning I wake up, do a little prayer, and then kind of just go on with my day. You know?
I think that's true too. Like I didn't start to, think about it until I was a little older. Like when I was like 26, when I turned 26, that's when I started to like really look into it because religion is there. Like it's like there's a church across me. So like I know.
There's one too, like an Armenian one across from me. Like every morning, every night I see the golden thing and I'm like,
exactly. Yeah. So it's there. It's just like I think as we get older, we'll get more into it because we want our kids to grow up good.
Yeah.
We don't want them to be like little shits. Right? You don't want your kid to be a shit, dude.
What if your kid's a little shit? Do you send them to the military?
Oh yeah, no, I'd send them to military.
I think
school.
I would too. Honestly.
I would haze my kid, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Shit, dude.
Think about it. Did you ever have to stand in a corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hazing.
Dude, I used to stand in yeah. That's not yeah.
Right? You think about it. Okay, let's go back to the time we were in college. Did you read the MGC terminology for hazing?
It's just doing anything that you don't want to
exactly.
do. Yeah.
It's doing anything you don't want to do.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, I'm gonna probably haze my kid.
I guess when we were kids, we were all hazed, right, by our parents.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like let's go through it. Sat in a corner. I remember I had to like write something. Like I write a note back to my parents, and then I think one other time I had to like do the dishes or something.
Right.
I never got hit though. Did you ever get hit by your parents? Like as a punishment?
As a punishment. I think luckily enough, I wasn't.
Oh, so we're like the anomaly.
I think we were lucky enough.
Yeah, we're the anomaly.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people did.
No, I definitely hear a lot of stories like whether it's like, a belt or whether it's a little slipper, here and there, you do get the slaps. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that would have flied with our non-Asian friends.
I think there should be like it's not penalty, like what is it called? Like if you do something bad, you should feel the,
There has to be a consequence for your actions. Yeah.
There should be some sort of consequence. And I think it also varies depending on the kid, right? If it's like sometimes I feel like for us, I think, making us do the dishes or making us fold clothes or making us sit in a corner and make us do that. I think in our heads, it was like, oh shit, I did something bad and we're not supposed to do that again, Maybe we just somehow just understood, that was bad. Don't do it. And then we kind of just went on with our lives.
Exactly. There's a lot of little things you can do to like show someone that, hey, this is the consequence of your action.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like hit them with a belt,
Yeah.
right? Like I know for a fact, like, remember how we had that trash thing in our old apartment?
Like
the tally?
Like tally marks, yeah.
You can do like good tallies and bad tallies.
It's true.
I don't know, like that's
It's the thing like if you cuss, you put a quarter in and it's like, it's bad.
exactly
Stuff like that.
Yeah. But then you realize that when we get older, like you can swear and cuss.
Yeah.
You just have to do it in the right situation.
Yeah. The right timing.
At the right timing. It's not like when you're sitting in a fine dining restaurant. And
No, but still, like when I went to Taiwan, something I would say it. My parents were like, "Dude, don't say that." I'm like, I'm 26.
it's like I'm old.
I'm old too. Like you say two here and there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess like in their eyes, we're still kids, right?
Yeah. No, and in their eyes, we're still like kids.
Yeah.
Like my parents still like talk to me like I'm still young. But then
Yeah.
it's really funny because sometimes they ask me for advice and they're like, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "What?"
It's like, are you actually having me sit at the table and actually talking?
Yeah,
about
when we were like doing the property purchase. they were like talking like they were talking to me like an equal, and it was weird. It was really weird.
I mean, it's because I think they see that we've grown up a lot and that we are now at that stage of life where we can be able to take that responsibility, and they see it, right? Because I think we've gone through all these different, like we mentioned before, milestones already. I think those milestones show them, and like they see that we can take that.
Exactly.
We can do it. Like we are at the age where we can pay for that, do that, you know, and just be freaking adults. You know?
Yeah, it's weird to think that we're adults because when we're at a party now, like with kids around, we're the ones taking care of the kids. Yeah. And then not so long ago, like in our very distant brain, we're still children.
No, I think what I realized recently is that, yes, we're 26, 27, but I think sometimes we still feel like we're kids. And I think I now see that when I was a little kid, my parents still sometimes act like kids, even though they're freaking adults. And I'm like, now I get it. Like, at heart, we're still super young.
Yeah.
We're just, our bodies are old and can't handle shit anymore. You know?
It's like you can't drink like 10 shots and wake up the next day and be okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. It's like we're still like fun on the inside. It's just you got to like figure out when to not be as fun because you have to be the adult in the room,
We
right?
have to be the adults.
And I don't know what it's going to be like when we're a little older, like when we all start having
Another
kids.
2, 3 years, 4 years.
And when someone has a baby, that's when everything's going to change. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it's going to happen sometime soon.
I mean, some of my friends are already have kids, and I'm just like, holy crap! I don't think I'm at that stage.
I don't have any good friends that have kids yet.
Really?
Yeah.
I think 1 or 2 of my friends have kids, and I'm just like, damn, good for you. Like,
That's crazy.
hey, I mean, like, you know, sometimes you get there faster than others, and
Yeah, because we're also in a different part of the world. Like
it's true. It's true.
we're
Where
in
we
the-
live
yeah.
and you know what we do does kind of dictate it.
Yeah, because
right?
we're also career oriented, especially in our friend group. Like a lot of our friends are still in grad school,
yeah.
graduating, or they're like working full time.
Working full time and kind of still like trying to figure out if they like that or not, and
Yeah.
trying to find new jobs and stuff
Exactly.
like that. And again, I think it's just through trials and errors, and people will get there.
Exactly. So we're gonna figure it out. You know, it just takes time. And then, dude, like time is flying. Like I remember when we first met, we were like what 21. So there's
No, 20, I think.
20. Really?
At least I was a 20, I think.
Oh, you were 20. Yeah, you're younger than me.
Yeah.
Slightly.
A couple months.
Oh yeah, and when we first met, like it was a lot of just like, yo, let's just go out, let's have fun.
Yeah.
But then now it's really more so like, okay, when can we find the time to hang out?
When can we hang out? And then when we do hang out, it's not just all about partying, I would say. Like, yes, I would say maybe a third, half the time we still just party. But the other half is just like talking.
Yeah, we
catching
just
up.
hang out. Yeah,
Just
because
like, well, what's on your mind? And if you need any pointers, if you need any insight onto certain things, just let me know.
we don't just like drink mindlessly anymore. We kind of just do it to have fun with our friends.
Still, we do though.
We still do, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel the same anymore.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I hate going to clubs now and not having a table. Like I
No, if you think about it, at the end of the day, it's still kind of cheaper.
depends on where you are.
It depends on where you are, and sometimes where you go. Sometimes people bring a lot of plus whatever, and then the drinks just disappear somehow. Like,
But dude-
there's times where we just get one shot.
Yeah.
2 bottles. We're
But
just
you need
what?
the space. Let's just be real.
Yeah, it's nice.
I
It's
hate
nice.
being in the
It's
GA
nice.
section now.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
I think that's one thing. As we get older, we get that fuck you money, and then we have that money to just. At least we're fortunate enough to do that, and to be able to do that and be like comfortable a little bit. Because I think we also mentioned, I think like if we go to like EDC next time or EZU, I think we should probably get like a VIP, right? I think like
Oh no, VIP is actually worth it. You know why? Because okay,
personal bathrooms.
personal bathrooms. There's AC in there, and also the VIP has unlimited open bar.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so essentially,
say
like
less.
if you put the band on and you go into VIP and you fill up 2 bottles and you
Just
bring
give
them
it to your
out,
friends and then come
you
back
give
out
it to your
like-
friends to drink, and then you go back in and fill it up again.
That's pretty dope.
Each shot is what, like $15, right? You do the math.
$20.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, 15
15?
for like a hard drink, right? 15 times, like, let's say like a whole bottle is like, what, like each drink is like maybe like $30, right? You fill up your drink over the weekend at least like 10 times. That's $300. That already
That's
pays for your
true.
ticket. So you
true.
can make the money back
That's
essentially.
true. Dude, why don't we make that a side hustle?
Yeah. You just charge your drinks.
We'll just get VIPs and then
Charge your
get
friends.
$5.
so
Here you go. Hey, it's still worth it for them.
Actually though, and
Right.
I want to have an AC bathroom. So
It's like halfway through, you're just like, all right, I just need to chill.
I just need to chill
In the bathroom.
to the bathroom with the AC because it's hot outside. Yeah, man. I think that like 2022 is definitely gonna be like a year of like growth for a lot of us, right?
I think we're gonna meet a lot of people. We're gonna figure a lot of stuff out individually, and also, yeah, I think we'll grow even more. I thought 2021 we grew up a lot. I think 22 is gonna be an interesting year. I think everyone's finally trying to go out even more and
Yeah.
just be willing to like do whatever. And I think that's exciting.
Yeah, the friend group has really grown up and it's expanded too. Like, remember like this time last year, we just started meeting people and it was weird.
It was hard. It was awkward. It was kind of just
Yeah.
it's like, what's up?
And then,
You know?
and then like in May when the city opened up and we went to the viewing party after the stream, right? And we like went to I think one of our friends' places with the loft.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Yeah, I was like, this is weird.
Dude, I still have a video of you.
Yeah, trying to like
running and jump and then like woo.
trying to do dirty dancing with someone, dude. That was crazy. I was like, this is so stupid. Well, yeah, that was me trying to do dirty dancing with someone, and it just didn't work out because we were both so drunk.
Should we put that video?
It's okay.
Right here. I'm kidding. No, that's not.
We were both so drunk,
That was a good
and
time,
it just
though.
didn't work out.
That was a good time. Yeah, you guys both fell. I was like, cool.
It's okay. We had a good time.
That's all that matters. It was like I think everyone at that time was like very eager to go out, and I think it was just let loose a little bit.
Exactly.
I think then we already had our first shot. I think April.
I think no, it was May. So it was like our first shot leading
May
into
1st,
second.
May 1st or something.
Yeah,
That
we were
was
leading into
extreme.
the second. We were leading into the second one.
Yeah.
So it was like we were already pretty happy and like we were like feeling safer.
No, I think we did have the second shot because I think our apartment agreed that if we wouldn't go out.
Oh yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't. We all got second shots, but we didn't hit 2 weeks yet.
Yeah.
But then we got it, so we're like fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, that was it was a good idea, bad idea, but whatever.
Good idea, bad idea, but nothing happened, so it's fine.
But knowing 2022 is gonna be a year of growth and stuff like that. So far, the past like few months, what are some like good habits or bad habits that you kind of picked up?
Oh no, I've been working out a lot more.
That's good.
I picked up a creatine. You should buy some creatine.
Creatine?
Creatine. It's actually like the next best supplement to whey protein.
Dude, the past 2 weeks I've been going to the gym too because I don't know if I told you, mid-December because of Omicron, I just did the self-quarantine at home, and then I went to Taiwan, right?
Yeah.
Freaking 2 weeks in the hotel, it was brutal. Like a weekend, I was having like cabin fever and shit because you literally can't go out or anything,
Yeah.
right? And like I remember on the 12th day, because Taiwan, every morning they check on you, they're like, hey, what's your temperature? How are you feeling? Stuff like that. I remember the 12th day, my phone was off for some reason. I just, just lost battery. They called the hotel. It was 7 a.m. and they're like, where are you? What do you mean? I just picked up my phone. And like in Chinese, like 你不要跑, which means like you better not run. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, you have 2 more days, 14 days, you're gonna be out. I was like, all right, cool.
When you were quarantined, like, did you have like a balcony or anything like
I
that?
did. Thankfully.
Oh, thank Jesus.
Dude, I had like friends who like just had a little window, but I actually didn't quarantine in Taipei. I did it in a city called Puli, which
Okay.
is in the middle of Taiwan. And luckily, like the rooms were a lot bigger. And then me and my grandpa had a balcony, so we had like air to kind of just like breathe and stuff like that. But to kind of go off my point was kind of like during those 2 weeks and kind of, dude, all I did was eat, sleep, work, shit, sleep. Eat. Dude, you even pointed out on my 14th day, bro. You looked at my story and you're like, bro, you gained some weight.
Yeah, you looked,
and I was like, fuck,
you
dude.
actually looked fatter. I was like, damn, Johnson gained weight. And it was because you quarantined for 2 weeks and then 2 weeks later you went to Taiwan.
Yeah, and I was in Taiwan where like literally I just eat and it was amazing. It was great. It was
Yeah,
great.
that's because if you were in Taiwan for a month, I would have gotten a gym membership, dude. It's way cheaper out there.
No, but 2 weeks in the hotel, you can't leave your room though.
No, I mean when you were out.
Out 2 weeks, but then I was like with my family and just like, dude, I'm on vacation,
Dude,
man.
even when I'm in Manila and I'm on vacation, I still work out.
I'm like, I'm just gonna eat all the stinky tofu, boba, and all those stuff every day, dude.
Dude, this shows me your priorities because, dude, when I'm telling you, dude, when I'm back home or when I'm traveling, I always get a workout in.
No, that's good because you keep a consistent, what
Even
is
if
it
it's
called?
like a shit hit workout, I still do it because
Yeah.
it's a fucking workout, whatever.
I give you respect for that, dude. Sometimes for me, I just need 4 weeks of just.
You know what I used to do? I used to even bring my whey protein with me.
What?
Yeah.
Dude.
No, I'm not capping you. I used to bring my whey protein with me.
You got some serious motivation, bro.
Dude, fuck that. I'm not trying to get skinny again, dude.
No, but anyways, I think the past 2 weeks I've been slowly getting back on that trend of like working out like you, and it's been great. Like,
And I noticed that you've slimmed down a bit.
slimmed down a little bit. My blood pressure's going down, which is
Oh,
good.
that's
dude,
good, that's good.
I told my parents it's at 130.
Still
You
pretty
remember when
high.
I told you? Yeah, it's still like normal's
Still
120.
pretty high.
It's still high, but normal's like 120. But I remember like I told you, right, when I did my full body checkup, it was like fucking 145.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
It was so bad.
Shit, man.
But it's okay. But anyways, I think like that's the thing, right? Like we're getting back into a routine and finding good habits again and gymming and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude.
I guess I kind of cut you off. What were some
No,
of your
I was gonna
other-
say like my good habits. Like I've been working out a lot more.
Yep.
I've been doing some I've been working on music. And I'm just like working on my career, like thinking about my career path and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then just like trying to like make new friends. I think that's a big thing for me too. Like I know that we're like really good friends. Like you guys are like my day ones.
Yeah.
So I know that like wherever and whatever happens, like we're all still friends. But it's like expanding my network to just like figure out my life and see like what else is out there. Because we're at an age now where we're like the in between. Because there's like the 23, 22-year-olds that just graduated, and there's the 30-year-olds that are like kind of out of like the partying scene now, right? So I want to befriend a little bit of older people just to like see like their perspective on things
So
too.
like, do you just want to find people who aren't in the party scene anymore, or like with different kind of hobbies?
People that are older.
People are older, but
Yeah.
what do they party to?
Then it's fine because then it's a different perspective because
That's
you're
true.
you're
That's
talking to
true.
someone that parties at 33 versus someone that's 27.
It's true.
6-year difference.
6 years. It's true.
One of my friends is actually like 35 and still goes out like we do,
It's true.
and he has the money to blow, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he told me, New York is pay to play, and he's like,
Wait, what does that mean?
you have to pay to have fun. So, and he told me like, when
Yeah.
you're 30 and you start to make more money, like you just like don't give a shit anymore. Like
Yeah.
you just kind of like throw money at like when you're out, you're like, yo, fuck it,
I
600
think
bucks.
it's even more so now because we can't really travel a lot either. I mean, we can, but with a lot of stuff going on in like Europe,
Yeah.
Asian stuff, it's kind of hard to do that. And I think that's why we're just spending money on like, you know, whether it's at a bar or a club and
Yeah.
stuff like that, or like because we can't really experience other stuff, right? Which kind of sucks, but I see your point.
I mean, I just use all my points to travel, but you know,
But we only can like really travel domestically, or I guess we can go like Mexico stuff like that too.
you can go to Europe.
Yeah, we can go Europe too.
Asia's just the one that's still kind of
Yeah,
off.
it's just yeah.
So
Which is, you know what, from my experience when I was in Taiwan, they're doing a really good job. You know, like again, they have different priorities, right? Like they just want it's strict, and because it's strict, their numbers are super low.
Yeah.
Right. Like 40 in the whole entire country. That's insane. Like I think when I was in the hotel, they were averaging between like 20 and 80. I think that was just high because it was like Lunar New Year and people were coming back from like different countries, and that obviously caused a lot of increases in cases. But like just overall, like domestic cases and stuff like that, Taiwan did a really good job.
that's awesome.
Yeah, because like yeah.
They're able to like actually figure out a system that works.
Yeah.
But people are also more obedient, you know.
Yeah.
And that's
I
the
agree.
thing. You
Like,
know,
everyone wears their mask when they go outside. Everyone, like I think I was telling my other friend, like if you take a picture without your mask, like sometimes people just like look at you like, bro, keep your mask on.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
it's very Asian.
very Asian.
Yeah.
So, but hey, again,
Different environment, different
Environment.
people, different type of like vibe too.
exactly.
What are any last words from you? Like, what do you think is going to be your outlook for 2022?
My outlook for 22.
Yes.
Like if it's career wise, there's certain numbers I want to do in terms of like, hey, like last year I sold 3 houses, right? This year I want to sell at least 6. You know, I think that's like just one career goal. Others is just I think in the same boat as you. I just want to meet new people. I think I talked to a lot of my friends when I was in Taiwan. It's kind of where I think 2021 I shut myself out from dating. And I think this year 2022, even though I don't think I'm at that exact place to be like, hey, I want to date for sure. I just don't. I think I'm not gonna like completely shut off, right? That's why I want to meet people, right? Be like, just meet people. They can be friends. They can, you know, just meet people. You know, again, I think when we spoke offline, it was kind of just figuring out what you like, what you don't like, and kind of just meet new people. You know, at the end of the day, you're just networking. You might just meet someone cool. You can become great friends,
Oh, dude, I got you, man.
right? So I think that's another outlook. And 3, I think, is just hopefully to be able to see my parents more. Hopefully, like with COVID and stuff like that, I think, you know, we have more opportunity to see our family because, again, you know, I think you're visiting your family in July, right? Because of
Yeah, July because my cousins are flying in from Cali, so I'm flying back to Manila for the first time in like 3 years.
yeah. So I think like as like COVID restrictions kind of lax, I think that will give us the opportunity to see more family, which is nice. And then keep on improving. You know, my personal goals of just finding out what I want to, you know, do.
Exactly, man. It'll take some time, but I think we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else I want to say, but
right.
you know that we're always gonna figure it out eventually, somehow, some way, and we're all gonna have a good time in 2022. Like 2022 is definitely gonna be a year of growth, prosperity, and also just be ready to party, man. It's gonna be a fucking
You
lit
ready
year.
to party, dude? We're ready to party.
Dude, you gotta be ready to party, man. It's gonna be a fucking
Next
lit.
2-3 weeks is gonna be insane.
Yeah, and the summer's gonna be crazy, and so is Electric Zoo, dude. I'm so ready.
Dude, Ease is in September, bro.
But dude, just trust me. Just trust me. This year is gonna be
Is
like
it because you guys are gonna be there?
no.
Wink, knock, knock.
No.
Hey, I'm
wink,
a manifested. Gio, I'm a manifested. Dude, they're gonna be on.
Oh my god, dude.
At 4 p.m. time slot,
No,
dude.
dude, Electric Zoo opens at 1, so we're gonna be on at
At
1.
1 p.m. time slot, dude. I'll be there. Gio and Tim Kairuko are gonna be there.
Oh,
Right?
Team Capricorn, baby. But we'll see. Thank you in for tuning in.
Thank you guys.
We're back again. with everything. So
more episodes to come. More interesting, insights on life from different kinds of people up to different walks of life.
Oh yeah, we're gonna fuck around a lot on this podcast
Have
now.
a good time.
We're gonna have a great time. See you guys.
Peace. Lamau.